Welcome to One Interview by Night, the podcast where we interview the people who make the One World by Night LARP network happen. Tonight we have the Changeling Coordinator, Ash.
Hi, that's me. I'm Ash.
Hi, could you introduce yourself a little bit?
I am Ash the Changeling Cord. You may also know me as Ashton, but I don't like it, so don't use it. Uh, this is actually my first term as a Cord, but I've been in One World since 2009, and I've been playing OWbN Changeling since 2015.
So that leads into the most important question, which is, what do you do as Changeling Coordinator, and what are your plans for your office? And maybe introduce us a little bit to Changeling, since it's a smaller genre in the org.
It is, but we're growing. That's a big part of what I do as Changeling Cord is promote the genre, try to grow it. A lot of my day-to-day that I didn't really expect was helping people from other genres interface with Changeling and explain to them, no, you cannot go to Arcadia today. Arcadia being the home of the traditional home of the fairies. Yeah. I view Changeling and Obi-Wan, a lot of people say that it doesn't fit, but I feel that it's one of the saddest genres. But they are all sort of body snatching space aliens here for a good time, not a long time. And I think there's a real good space to tell stories of the personal horror of the world of darkness there. What I'm hoping to do with the genre, I'm running a couple big plots this year. One featured a lovely, or by the lovely Teach, a write-up in the OWbN Marketing newsletter recently. OWbN's very first Parliament of Dreams, which is sort of a conclave, to put it in cam vampire terms. In Garu, it would be something like a constellation. Sabbat, as you and I both know, Cheryl, would be ecumenical council. Probably a pretty good equivalent where the Fae come together to discuss and make policies. There's a little bit of backstabbing, there's a little bit of fighting. Everybody has a great day.
That sounds
Um,
really cool. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I read Teacher's write up and it was great. And yeah, it sounded like that was a good time.
it was a very hectic weekend. Yeah, I learned my mistakes, and I will never run an event game that ends on a Sunday night again. That was on me. And that was, I think it was a good time. I think people really liked the return of the High King David plot, and I'm excited to do more with that. I'm currently running a joint longer term event with Adam, the HST of Kings of New York, where he's graciously loaned me a little bit of territory in his game to run some canon events.
That's really fun. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know Adam mentioned that he was doing something with that.
Yeah, there's this place in New York called Goblin Town, and it's a giant freehold, which is like a sept for Garu terms. It's probably the closest equivalent. It doesn't really exist in the world as we know it. It exists in the Dreaming, which is their separate realm. And I'm running some stuff with that, some fallout from the one of the last big Changeling plots, which was the return of the Fomorians. And this is sort of cleanup from that to let the Changeling PCs have some closure from the events of the war and kind of move on to the next worst thing. Let's see. I'm hoping to run a live event game here in the next. Honestly, the way the plot is going, I'm not sure if it'll be done by the end of my first term, but I'm intending to go for a second because I've been having so much fun with it so far.
No,
But
it's really great to hear you're having fun as Cord, because I always love when the Cords are enjoying what they're doing, because the whole point of what we're doing. We're playing a game. It should be fun.
it really is fun, and I have a great cast of volunteers and players who are just always really excited and just really bring the joy into it for me. And they make sure that I'm having fun too. I had never wanted to run for, because all I knew were like these vampire clan chords, right? And they were always just, whenever they spoke about it, it was so bitter and really upsetting to hear that they'd been treated so poorly. And I'm not sure if it's just the tone the genre has taken in the last few years, or the tone that Obi-Wan, I guess, has taken in the last few years, where it's been more positive. But on the whole, I can't speak to any cord burnout that I'm feeling. People are always really good at yelling at me if I answer emails too often.
Yeah, Yeah, I have seen that it's gotten a lot more positive in the last few years. I think some of that's the pandemic, and people are like, there are better things to do than be mean to courts.
I really did not expect courting to be this fun, but I am having a really good time
I
with it.
I know that feeling
Yeah.
because I love being the marketing court. It's so much fun, and I get to do things like this.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really, really glad that we came in because this is your first term as a court as
It
well, right?
is,
Yeah, I'm really, really glad that we get to sort of reap one positive effect of the pandemic, which was, at least we don't have to be jerks to each other.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, explain what give us the elevator pitch for Changeling.
So, like I said earlier, body snatching space aliens who are here for a good time and not a long time. That is generally my 5 second elevator pitch for Changeling. My 30-second elevator pitch for Changeling is, do you remember when you were out in the woods as a kid and like maybe you'd go out there with your friends or stuff and you'd pretend you were witches and you made like all these little potions out of dirt and acorn leaves and oak leaves and whatever else acorn shells and whatever else you had laying around? That's Changeling. That's
It's
that's all it
great.
is. That's the experience of getting to be a kid again and like all of the wonder and excitement when the world is still kind of shiny and has a lot more potential. And getting to kind of leave all of the crap from your day job behind and pretending to be something you're not, whether that is a pretty, pretty elf princess, or a big monster, or maybe a really, really adorable puka who will literally always lie.
I every time I've run into a puka in anything World of Darkness, which is yet to be in the org. I've not run into a puka in the org yet, but I
That
have in
you've known.
tabletop that I know of. But I have in tabletop games, and they are always chaos.
There are Puka is the hardest kith to play by far. I have mad respect for the people who can pull it off. They're really, really neat. I think they really bring a lot of the trickster aspect of Fae genre on the whole outside of Obi-Wan or One World genre. That sort of aspect of the Fae as tricksters. That's really necessary. And it's not that Puka are the only ones who can do it, but they're generally the best for it.
I think my general experience with any changeling is chaos.
That is a lot
and
of
and
what I
and
love
good
about it.
good
Yeah.
chaos. Good chaos. I'll make that clear because they are wonderful chaos.
I love when I am at Beltane or something and I just see like 5 to 10 changeling PCs go by, and then I just watch the werewolf and mage PCs just like what were they doing? I don't know, but it worked.
Yeah, no, my character Avery, who learned the hard way that maybe don't trust the changeling when he offers you cupcakes.
Yep, yeah, there's a lot of that. Actually, one of my favorite changeling holidays is coming up, Samhain, and that is a great time to hang out with the Fae. You should totally do it. Nothing bad will happen.
No, nothing bad will ever happen.
Sorry, I haven't played with my dog all day, and she is
Oh,
very aware of it. Oh,
hi, Rio.
Cheryl says hi. You gonna say hi to them? Nope. Just
No.
gonna just gonna play with the rope. Okay, cool. As far as like as you said, Avery's experiences with changelings, that is probably one of the trickier spots I run into as a cord. Because I do, obviously, I want to offer cross genre because that is how I introduce people to the genre and that's how I get people to make changeling PCs, right? There's not a lot of genres there's not a lot of opportunities outside of mage and werewolf players to play well with changelings, but instances like Samhain would probably be the best for vampires, even though it coincides with Paya for Sabat. Yeah, I'm trying to introduce more options for cross genre for PCs, but doing it in the sense that it is still a changeling space and finding ways to invite other genres into that is proving a little tricky. Yeah.
And I know with vampires is especially difficult because banality is a thing, and vampires have a lot of it.
Yeah, it is uncomfortable for changelings to be around highly banal creatures for a while. Sorry, meow. My puka, ladies and gentlemen. No, it is difficult. It also makes their magics more likely to fail or burn out faster. And in general, it's just a bit like if you go to a party and there are only people there talking about what they do for work, and they're all actuaries or accountants. And no offense to the actuaries and accountants in One World by Night, but please don't talk about that at parties.
Yeah.
Read a book, do something fun for yourself. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. And I can't exactly make changeling PCs do cross genre if they don't want to do it too.
No, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to make them do it because some of the genres don't necessarily play nice with Fae.
Yeah, yeah. But I do, because there are so many great role players in Vampire who don't play Mage or Garu or Changeling. They only play Vampire. And I want to get them. Yeah, right. Yeah. I want to get them. I want to get you playing different genres.
I'm trying. I keep sitting there going like I should make a changeling. I should make a demon. I'm sitting on the demon Discord game and not making a character.
Is that the one Dan Hansen is running?
Yes.
He's wonderful. I made a character for that game and played it once. I feel really bad.
Yeah, it's one of those things of sometimes branching out to a new genre, it's intimidating to make that first character sheet.
Yeah, I've actually got a bunch of pre-generated character sheets in a folder ready to go. So on that happy day where you are ready to come get kidnapped by the Fae, let me know.
I totally will, and I'll let you give me a character sheet that I can then completely remake because that's probably what will happen.
Sure,
But as
yeah,
long as I'm sitting there like seeing like what needs to be on the sheet,
exactly. It's always
that
easier with a
helps.
template. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's usually what I do if someone wants to start playing vampire and they ask me is I sit down, I show them one of my sheets.
Exactly, yeah. And
I usually show them my Toreador because I don't play her much, and she's got a fun little sheet.
yeah, it's really easy to have that, to have something that you know that works so that you can show newer players and like, this is how this breaks down. This works with this works with that. And I think that's really probably the best advice I'd give to STs or chords out there looking to get people into their genre. Have sheets ready to go. Thanks, Rayo. I'm glad you agree.
And that segues well into what else would you like to say to potential changeling players?
I would say don't be afraid. Be not afraid if we're gonna go there. No, just come in with an open mind, an open heart, be ready for new experiences, even if it seems a little bit silly. LARPing seemed a little bit silly when you first did it. So we've all been the new kids on the block, and nobody is going to judge you or look twice at you. They're always willing and ready to help. I actually have a bunch of players on my OOC Discord server with the role of mentor. I gave them their own little tag, and there's a channel where new players can just ask questions, and a mentor will pop in and be like, "Yeah, it works like this."
Oh, that's great. That's a
Yeah.
really good idea. I use that
I
for more of the genres, actually.
really love what I've done with the OOC server. It was just kind of an idea I had to post a bunch of fairy memes and hang out when I started, but it's really become a wonderful resource for new players and old players, I think. And I'm not, I don't have eidetic memory IRL. Like, certainly don't know everything. But it's been a really good resource to get a bunch of people with a bunch of wider knowledge bases in, and I've learned a lot from it. We also do post a bunch of fames.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So now the fun bit is I get to listen to you gush a bunch of characters. Who do you play?
Oh my gosh, you probably know my biggest one.
I do. I love Mara.
I was gonna say Siobhan Device the Red God, my R rune, but okay. That's right. I zigged when you thought I was gonna zag. No, like I said, I've been in Obi-Wan since 2009, so I have played just a ton of PCs. But my Malkavian anti-tribute, Mara Vandal, is probably the one that most people in Obi-Wan know me for. She's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm not like her. Please don't be mad at me.
You mean you don't show up everywhere with a lot of drugs?
Um, are you a cop? You have to tell me if you're a cop. Um, no, I don't show up to places and just be mean to people until they like me. That is generally not an approach that I found works well in real life. People in Obi-Wan really like it.
We won't dig into the possible reasons for that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into it. I'm just gonna say I've got a lot of boots for Mara and a lot of short skirts. That's it. We're just gonna leave that one there. Next up, and I actually did NPC this character out because it was too much of a mental stress load. I have been playing this Fiona Arun, Siobhan Defies the Red God, since 2012. And if you've played an Arun for more than 3 years in One World by Night, please go to therapy. Just go to therapy. Um, it is a lot. That is a really heavy mental load. I don't know. Thanks, Rio.
Rio agreeing with you. Go to
Yeah,
therapy.
yeah. Just in general, like after the pandemic and everything, I think everybody should probably get some counseling. um, let's see. I've played a ton of Camarilla vampires, but I don't know that any of them have been memorable. Mostly they haven't stuck around long enough because I have like PTSD mean girl trauma from high school. So when someone is mean to me in cam, I leave. um,
This is why I have a Toreador who doesn't leave her art studio.
yeah, honestly, like play a Toreador, hang out, make art, like, or just play a Fae and hang out and make art. Also do that. Um, sorry, she is like literally yanking me across the room on my chair. Um,
Rio, our second guest on this podcast.
yeah, she won't like get up in my desk and or on my chair anymore for like meetings or Zoom calls. She knows better now. Um, but there was a while where I couldn't have a work meeting without her coming in from the beneath like a shark. It was really bad. Let's see, that's Savat, Garu, Cam. I've never played Mage. Whenever somebody tries to explain Mage to me, it sticks in my head for about 3 seconds. Then I start to smell toast, and then I forget everything. If anybody out there listening to this can explain Mage to me, the email is changeling@owbn.net. Please do it. I need help. I have a demon. I've played in a couple of demon games with various PCs. I love the lore so much, and I really, really love what Dave is doing with the Fallen genre. I think it's great. And I like that the focus is more on PC Fallen instead of Infernalists. I think that was a really, really good direction to go. And Changeling. As I said, I have played in the genre since 2015. In Obi-Wan at least. It's been a little bit longer in indie games. But I've played a couple PCs in that time. Probably Sorcha Alerni Islanded being the most prominent. And that's I play her in a couple games these days. I don't really get to travel with her as much as I'd like to. Uh, but it's a good problem to have because there are too many Changeling games for me to go to on a regular basis.
That is a very good problem to have for
Yeah,
a small genre because it's definitely telling you that it's getting bigger.
It's definitely growing. There's a couple of games that have just started up recently. There's Amber Waves in North Dakota, which is probably, I think, our newest one. And then UTR, the Anarch game, I believe, is starting a Changeling satellite. But Will is very busy as venture courts, so I don't know when that's gonna happen.
I'm aware of that because he was
Yeah,
my last interview.
he's got a lot going on. Yeah. Um, let's see.
Trying to rack your brain on any other characters, aren't you?
I really am. The part of the problem is I have character ADHD. And then I start talking about it, and then my brain goes on a tangent, like, look at all the new Changeling games in the org, and then I'm off in Neverland. Uh, um, yeah, I think that is it as far as like characters that anybody in OWbN would know me for. I've been around a long time, but like I don't generally go to a lot of event games in a big, memorable way. Yeah.
All right.
There was that one ecumenical council where I told, or where Mara told St. Hubert that if he touched her again, he'd draw back a stump. Yeah, that was
Good.
memorable. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I have a feeling to say sorry, not sorry.
Mara would say sorry, not sorry. That's just a little bit ashamed of me.
I mean, it's not like I have a character who routinely finds to remove body parts from people.
Yeah, that's true. It's not like that. That would be weird if it were like that. Why would it be like that? Gosh.
All right. Any last comments you'd like to make?
I've been trying to rack my brain in a way to phrase this without sounding like I'm jumping on vampire genre. Um, I was playing with the toy too long. Um, but just playing vampire exclusively in OWbN had me feeling like I was going to be leaving OWbN because it was just very dark, a bit oppressive, and all of the stories were the same. And then I started branching out. Give me 1 second, Cheryl. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Rio being Rio. And here's where you get to edit a whole bunch of Dead Space, Christian.
Whew, okay. So playing exclusively vampire in OWbN for a long time had me feeling like it just wasn't the space for me. It was dark, it was oppressive. Everybody talks about their grim, dark personal horror, but it wasn't the kind of horror that was sustainable for me. So moving into what is often referred to as like the live genres, like Garu or Fae or Mage, if Mage makes sense to you in your brain, really gave me a fresh perspective, and it's what's kept me in OWbN. So if vampire players are feeling like that, give something else in OWbN a try. Give werewolf a try. Give mage a try. Play a demon. Play a changeling. We're fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I revel in that darkness, and that's my thing, but it can be a lot.
It is a
And
ton. Yeah. Yeah, I think on that note, the only other thing I'd probably say is that I have heard from people who, for their own beliefs and their own family's customs, were reluctant to try changeling. I've been raised with a lot of those beliefs as well, but I've never, knock on wood, had like bad luck or fairies stealing my shit. Can I swear on this podcast? I'm
oh
sorry.
yeah, you certainly can.
Super. I've been trying so hard. But I've never found anything like that. I know that a bunch of people have quietly asked me, like, hey, like, is this going to get me cursed by the fairies? Like, probably not. But even if it does, what is life without a couple good stories of your own?
Right?
Yeah.
You just have to make nice with the fairies after.
Yeah. leave some cream and honey out. It'll all be well.
All right. So I want to thank you so much for coming and doing this podcast because I love hearing about genres I don't play.
Yeah, thank you
And
so much for having me. I think this is a really great idea from you as the marketing cord. And it was great to see your face. I gotta make it out to Maine soon.
you do.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
All right. So with that, we're gonna say goodbye and listen next time.
Thank you and have a great day.
Bye.
Christian doesn't mind adding this in. Please thank my subcords, especially Bryn, Kyle, and Sarah M. I would be lost without you.
Yeah, I will
And
have
Dave.
him. I will have him find this and add in that little bit.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all of the Goblin Town stuff, especially, I would be lost without those four. I actually am working with the Toreador and Malkavian chords to run a Discord event next year because we can't do it in person, but it's going to be set at Burning Man.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
I
And
am very
such
excited.
a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, no,
In
great.
the best way, that's a terrible idea.
It's gonna be wonderful. You see why it has to be run via Discord because I cannot get
Yes.
everybody out to Black Rock City for it.
No, you can't.
And I also don't think that it would work in any way outside of
Probably
like it being at an actual Burning Man event. I know they have like mini burns, but I guess we could host our own. Yeah, that's an idea I've had for an event game since way before I ever thought of running for Changeling Court, and I'm so excited that people are on board with it.
One Earned to View by Night is presented by One World by Night, produced under the Dark Pack Agreement Paradox Interactive. Portions of the presented material are the copyrights and trademarks of Paradox Interactive AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit worldofdarkness.com. This material is not official World of Darkness material and is intended solely for use by One World by Night.